All right, so I've been sitting in my chair now, thinking about what I was going to talk about in this morning video, while I was looking at the comment section of my own video. And Sir Thanks a Lot left a comment saying that people run away from you, meaning me, because you're too real. You talk about things that other YouTubers won't go near with a 10-foot pole. And the reason for that is most people that are on this platform want to come here and spew out toxic positivity out their rear, out their mouth, out their ears, out their eyes, because they want to believe that things aren't perfect, but that they're going to get better. And you guys know, I don't believe that for a second. We're not helping the homeless. We're not feeding the hungry. We're not giving people real jobs. If you work at McDonald's like I do, well, it's never going to get better. That uniform is never going to stop being humiliating. That Happy Meal is never going to be enough to pay your rent. We're all stuck in this version. And when a normie meets me in real life and they realize, oh my God, this guy's destroying everything I believe in. You know, the pros believe in lottery tickets and winning the lottery and beer commercials becoming a reality where you get to bang that hot babe that you just met. It's not the reality. If you're hanging out with Susie Rottencrotch, chances are she's got a lot of baggage. And I mean a lot of baggage. Emotional, physical trauma. God only knows what happened to her. Because girls don't always tell you the truth about where they've been. They've been in the back seat of a car. They've gotten it from the rear behind the Taco Bell. And they've done things that you can possibly never imagine. But they don't like to consider themselves to be a lady of the night. In fact, the other day I was talking to Blue and she's like, I feel like a lady of the night in church. I'm so nervous. Why is that? Because every hole's been poked. Every finger has found a way. And that's the reality of life. Because that's the way that work treats us. Every finger that you can imagine has been poked in you. The indignity of work is every day. And it will never stop being humiliating. The dignity of work left us decades ago. All we have left is whatever we call this. Whatever this is, whatever this reality is that when we meet people and they actually have something to say, the last thing you want to do is open your ears. In fact, you want to close your ears to as much of it as you can. I mean, just go on to CNN. What is there? Fear mongering, telling you everything's great, everything is wonderful, the economy's booming, and there are no real problems in the world. But then you get smacked in the face with reality. You suddenly, for some reason, you shake your head while you're working the fry later and you realize, oh my God, this is my life. You look over at your boss that's holding a baton, ready to smack you across the knees the second you slow down, or the algorithm that's constantly hunting you for poor work performance while you're just trying to hold on to your job. Then you look down at your uniform and you see that your name tag says loser on it. It doesn't even have your employee name. It just says loser number one. You look over at your coworker's uniform and it says loser number two. And you begin to wonder if the whole place doesn't just have loser written over the top of the building. Because it might as well. Ever notice how the deeper you are, the faster people run? It's like the sense that the gravity of your presence and immediately paddle back to the safety of shallow conversation and empty. How was your day text? You're not intense, you're real. And real scares the hell out of people who've never met themselves. That's the reality. You know, I work with people like this every single day. That they can't possibly understand that this isn't real. Your conversations with your coworkers, your bosses, your bosses' bosses, whoever you're talking to, they live in a bubble and they have to live in there. And anyone that threatens that bubble is something that they don't want to be around. I've noticed this my entire life. Even this whole YouTube channel is a big middle finger to reality, to working at McDonald's, to working at the Death Star, to Claire yesterday talking to me on through my comment section, Claire on the road. I mean, we're all seeing her sort of unwrap. I mean, I think she's been homeless and living in her car now for a couple of months. And when she's sitting in her car and she's burning up inside there because it's hot, no matter where you go in America, whether you're up north, wherever she is, I think she's in North Minnesota trying to cross into Canada. I think the last thing she said is she was trying to get paperwork to go be able to drive her car into Canada. It's still hot and you can't leave. That's the reality of things right now. You can't just leave poverty. You have to accept it. You have to put on your chicken costume every day and go into a job that you hate because it's the reality of your life. If you could do better, you would be doing better. If you're a $20 an hour worker or a $15 an hour worker, I mean, I've had hundreds of complaints in my comment section by thousands of people over the last couple decades about not understanding how am I doing this to make this much money? And as a current McDonald's employee, I'll tell you, I think about it every day. I think about all the vacations I'm not going to take, about the uninteresting people I'm going to meet through my job, about whether or not I'm going to get laid off because the Golden Arches isn't selling enough $20 hamburger meals. That's what we all think about. That's what we spend our nights thinking about, how we're going to stretch the budget to make it again this month. Because to me, every time it's the first of the month, it's like making it past the finish line. Every month you run like hell to try and pay the rent. And then you get there and then you're relieved. But guess what? You got to run to the finish line again and again and again. And eventually you're going to run out of steam. Why do you think I named this channel Millennial Steam? It's the steam that we're running out of. It's the motivation to continue to work hard for nothing, to own nothing and be happy. I mean, yesterday, while I led the handyman around my apartment, pointing out every flaw in this tiny little hellhole, he just kind of looked at me like, why would you live here? And I'm like, why would you live here? Because it's the only place I can afford. All right, talking point number one. Most people aren't consciously aware of why they back away from real connection. But when they sense emotional complexity or raw honesty, it triggers fear. It's not about you being too much. It's about them not being equipped to handle anything that isn't surface level. This is our entire reality with other people. We become a surface level society. We don't care about whether or not you have enough money to eat, whether you're living in your car, whether you're living in a dumpster. Yesterday, I walked over to one of the dumpsters by my house, and it had a sticker on the outside of it that said, "Don't sleep in the dumpster." Do we really need that sticker? I mean, if we really need that sticker, I should have a sticker on the front of my door to my apartment that says, "Don't sleep in here. This place is falling apart and it's too expensive." My car should have a sticker on the driver's side window that says, "Don't get in this car. This Promobile is unsafe. This Promobile and human existence don't exist in the same reality." You got 4 bald tires, a cracked windshield, paint that's peeling, and if it starts every morning, you thank your lucky stars. Thoughts and prayers every morning when you turn the key on your Promobile. Talking point number 2. We live in a world where dating apps reward detachment. Ghosting is easier than honesty, and emotional vulnerability is seen as a weakness. People crave vibes, not truth. And if you show up as a full human being, you break the illusion they're clinging to. Every morning that I show up at McDonald's and I get behind the fryolator and I let my eyes roll into the back of my head and I feel my brain oozing out of my ears is another day in which I have to believe in the illusion. If I break the illusion, chances are I'll run out into oncoming traffic. Because there's one thing about working at McDonald's above all else: you have to believe in the system. Because the moment you stop trusting your reality, you start listening to the statistics about the unemployment rates being at 4% while you watch a large tech company delete 25,000 decent jobs. They're McDonald's plus, but we still consider them to be better than what I do for a living: serve fries. I mean, what else are you going to do? You're either going to serve fries here, you're going to serve fries across the street, or you're going to serve fries right up the street. All jobs don't pay anything when it comes to the proletariat. To the 99%, we don't get to imagine ourselves living in those neighborhoods, living in those condos, living in those brand new places that look so nice on Instagram. We live here where everything's falling apart, nothing works, the walls are too thin, the rent is too high, and you don't know a single one of your neighbors. If you asked me to draw a sketch of any person that lives within 100 yards of me, I couldn't. Why? We're disconnected, and it's intentional. A disconnected society can't rise up against you. A disconnected society doesn't even think about those things. We just imagine ourselves someday winning the lottery and see ourselves surrounded by beautiful women that we pay for. And believe me, you're always paying for it. Just ask Fleece. He's already thinking about you. You're not even at work yet, and Fleece is thinking about you. A certain part about you. Just like the corporations, they're thinking about you and how they're going to make it the hard way today. While I'm standing at the fryolator sweating and smelling like fries, Fleece is going to sneak in right behind me. He won't say anything. He'll whisper a sweet "I love you" in your ear, and then you're going to feel the intense pain of reality. When you get a text message saying that if you don't pay your phone bill today, they're going to turn it off. Whether or not you can afford to pay your internet bill this month because it doubled from 3 months ago. Whether or not you're going to be able to put gas in your Promobile when you're afraid that it might explode on the way to work or from work, or hell, catch on fire on the highway. I mean, we've all seen those scorched marks on the side of the freeway. That was someone's Promobile going up in smoke. The same way that your life is going up in smoke right now. I can picture my life right now with little stink lines coming off of it and wondering, why would anyone live like that? Why would anyone want to live here? And the reality is that most of us want to reject our current reality and dance around like monkeys, thinking to ourselves, you know, this music makes me feel good. This music makes me not feel the pain that Fleece brings me back there every single day. The weight of the uniform and the humiliating nature of having a job like that. It sucks, but it's the only life we get. We only get one. Every day that you're alive is one less day that you're going to be alive. And we have to come to terms with that. Like I keep telling you guys, every day is the worst day of my life. Every day that I wake up and I'm not rich and I have no choice but to go to that job. Because remember, a man chooses not to go to work. A slave obeys. He puts on the uniform. He puts on his name tag. He puts on his goofy hat and he says, yes, sir, to someone that's 10 years younger than him that would fire you on the spot if you even glanced at them with the wrong look on your face. You better be smiling while Fleece is working because he likes to see your teeth, likes to see your pearly white teeth. And that's the thing that I've never understood about working at McDonald's. At Pound Town, they want to see you smile while you die inside. All right, let's get into our closing monologue. Let them swim away. You were never meant to be contained in their kiddie pool hearts anyway. You are the ocean, unpredictable, vast, and unapologetically deep. And the ones meant for you, they'll bring oxygen tanks. Oh, that toxic positivity. ChatGPT is so full of it, I think it might explode with toxic positivity. Every single script that I've written or had ChatGPT write for me for the past year now has been like this. It always wants to leave a call for action. That there's some sort of there's something worth it about this reality. And I assure you, if you're poor, there's nothing worth doing in this life. Your relationships, what you do from 8 to 5, what you do from 5 to 8 o'clock in the morning the next day, which is basically power down and get ready for the humiliating nature of work in America. With that said, I've got to prepare. I've got to mentally prepare, physically prepare to serve fries today. So I'm going to go put on the Mick uniform and hold out my hands for my Mick paycheck on Friday. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.